So now that we have built the APB interface and the sequence item, we'll see how you can actually go and build an APB driver and a sequencer, which are the next two lower level components that you can actually go and implement as part of the assignment. An APB sequencer can be a symbol. You can create a symbol APB sequencer class deriving from the UVM sequencer. And all you need to do is to parameterize the sequencer to be of type the APB read-write transaction class or the sequence item that you created in your first step. And the sequencer is as simple. The driver is something which again you can create. You can create an APB Master Driver class, and for a driver class you need to derive from UVM driver base class and again parameterize of the type sequence item, which is APB read-write. And the driver should have a handle to the virtual interface for accessing signals and the configuration object. And you'll have a build and a run phase for the driver. The build phase is where you will actually use the config database to get the handle to the virtual interface from the agent. And in the run phase, you would actually have to implement the driver sequencer API method. So basically, you'll have to call a get next item to get the sequence from the sequencer. And once you get an item, decode it and figure out whether it's a read or a write, and then drive it on the actual protocol. You'll have to implement how to drive a setup cycle for a bit transfer cycle, and etc. And then once you are done with driving that sequence item, you can notify back to the sequencer using an item done. So that's how you would implement a driver. So again, if you were to go and look at the reference code or the skeleton code, you will see you will implement an APB master driver since the APB driver sequencer monitor class. You'll have a factory registration, you'll have a build phase where you'll have to implement how to get the handles, and the run phase you will have to implement how you get the items from the sequencer and how you will drive. So normally you have to implement a drive read following the protocol on how to do a drive, how to drive a read on the interface, and you also have to implement a write. The sequencer is pretty straightforward. You will have to extend it from UVM sequencer, parameterize of this type APB read write, and all you need is to have a constructor. So that's how you can actually build a driver and a